Hello and welcome to Escena. I'm Andrew Rosario. We're here at the Tornado Time Machine in Manhattan, celebrating the 5th anniversary of Miracle on the Hudson. Now, if you remember, almost 5 years ago to the day, Flight 549 took off from LaGuardia Airport en route to North Carolina when it struck a flock of birds, killing both engines. Captain Sully Sullenberger had no choice but to land the plane on the Hudson River, saving all 155 passengers. Now, a watch called the Sullenberger is commemorating that day. Talk with the man they call Captain Sully, as well as the creator of the watch, Jean Richard, when we return. Bruno is the man from Jean Richard and helped commemorating tonight's event. Congratulations on tonight.
Thank you. I don't know if I'm the man, because actually the man is Captain Sully, not me.
Do you remember where you were the day that plane landed on the Hudson?
Yeah, I do remember, because I was in a very small company in Switzerland, in the middle of nowhere.
Okay.
And we heard the news about what was happening in New York, and I still have a lot of emotions thinking about that day.
How did you decide that you wanted to choose him as the person to represent this watch?
But we started to work with Captain Sully more than a year ago. We were looking for personalities which were representing the best of the values of Jean Richard. We are looking for people that are ordinary people doing extraordinary things, and we thought that Captain Sully was going to fit perfectly with those kind of things. And people that are living their passion to the extreme. As you know, Captain Sully was working for the entire career in improving the safety of aviation. Right. So that's why we thought that was the perfect fit for our brand and Captain Sully.
Do you recall Captain Sully? Captain Sully Sullenberger, congratulations on tonight's honor.
Well, thank you. It's great to be here with you.
Now, let's just backtrack just a little bit. 5 years ago today, when you finally took off from LaGuardia and you had that whole adventure, what was that like for you?
It was startling. After almost 30 years of routine airline flying, 42 years altogether, 20,000 hours in the air, where we worked so hard to plan and anticipate and never be surprised by anything in an airplane, we were suddenly confronted with the challenge of a lifetime, and a novel one that we had never specifically trained for. So we had, as it turned out, a little less than 3.5 minutes, 208 seconds to solve this problem we'd never seen before.
And not only yourself, but your crew stepped up in a big way as well.
And not only my crew, but all the first responders, and certainly New York Waterway, whose ferries rescued us. Their first vessel was there within 4 minutes of us landing in the river. That was essential, especially on such a cold, cold day.
Now, talk about how that's changed your life, because prior to that, aside from your family and friends, no one knew who you were. And all of a sudden, you're on the front page of every...
I went from complete anonymity to worldwide recognition in a matter of minutes. And it changed our lives, for me and my family, instantly, completely, and if not forever, for a long time.
About the watch, what do you like about it the most?
Well, it's such an obvious good fit with the Jean Richard, this partnership. I like their idea of the philosophies of life, the philosophy of life. And this particular watch is a special limited edition of the watch that commemorates that 208 seconds. And so I like what they've done. They've, in a very elegant and intuitive way, they have a graphical way of representing those 3 minutes and 28 seconds with 3 concentric white bands that represent the first minute, the second minute, the third minute of that flight, and then finally a red arc from the 12 o'clock position down to the 28th second. So it's a very special personal item that I'll treasure for a long time, because it represents such joy and such gratitude.
And it matches your suit as well.
It matches my suit as well.
Proceeds from this watch are going to your favorite organizations. Talk about those two.
Well, the first one is such an obvious good choice, because it's the American Red Cross. Came ashore on the New York and the New Jersey side of the river that day. It was the American Cross who was there to provide blankets and other things that we needed to warm us on a day when the air was 21 and the water was about 38 and many people had gotten wet. And the other charity that I chose is the Rory Staunton Foundation. Rory Staunton was a 12-year-old boy in New York who died of sepsis, a bloodstream infection. And that was a preventable medical error, a preventable medical accident, because he didn't receive in time the diagnosis diagnosis and the treatment that would have saved his life. My connection to Rory is that he loved the idea of becoming a pilot. He had read my first book, Highest Duty, and so when I learned of that, I contacted the family, and I wanted to help them in however I could. And they have created a Rory Staunton Foundation to educate the public about the dangers of sepsis that still claim too many lives in this country.
About the philosophy of Jean Richard, what does that mean?
But philosophy of life is looking at life in a different way, taking a step back, living the life to the fullest, so enjoying all the good of life and making sure that we can still take advantage of the time that we are living.
Aeroscope 208 seconds watch, designed specifically for Captain Sully Sullenberger, commemorates the 208 seconds it took for him, his crew, and New York City's first responders to make sure 155 passengers got home safe. For Escena, I'm Andrew Rosario.